Hi, y'all. This is RTTI in New York City. Just wanted to touch base with y'all right quick about a specific subject, man. It's very interesting. Has to do with the MK Ultra programming slash Project Monarch. What I found out, to my surprise, was that Mike Tyson was pretty much programmed to be a savage, ferocious animal. This is through his own words, his own admission. Found out that Customado had hypnotized him at 13 years old while he was coming up, and he was training him to become this ferocious animal, this beast. You know what I'm saying? And it makes total sense to me now when I look back on it. Certain things that were probably embedded in his mind to be this destroyer, this destruction machine. You know what I'm saying? And not to take anything away from him as a pugilist, you know what I'm saying? As a excellent, defense slash slugger slash, you know what I'm saying, power hitter. He was an amazing fighter, without a doubt. What I'm looking at is, through his own admission, that his mentor slash trainer slash father figure that he never had in his life took him at such a tender age of 13 and pretty much created a monster within him. The interesting thing to that whole factor is that he never taught him how to shut it off. And I found that interesting, to say the least. There's a movie called The Hunted that came out. I'm not sure if it was the early 2000s or the mid 2000s. Has to do with someone being a killing machine for the U.S. shadow government. And basically, it took place in Kosovo when Slobodan Milosevic, the dictator, was out there, running all types of slaughters and ethnic cleansings and things of that nature. Benicio del Toro, the one that plays the role of the protagonist alongside Tommy Lee Jones, which was his trainer in the movie, taught him how to kill and be an efficient killing machine for the shadow government. And distinctively in the movie, there's these agents. I'm not sure if they're FBI agents, some sort of U.S. government officials, could be CIA, DOD, you know what I'm saying? And you hear him clearly stating that what's been done to this guy in the movie, Benicio del Toro's playing, cannot be reversed. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's trigger phrases, trigger words, things that they use to put him under the hypnotic induction to bring about this hidden personality within them that's a alter ego slash killer. And he's having all these types of feelings, and he's in his feelings about it. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to figure it all out and wondered why. And he would write to his trainer, which was Tommy Lee Jones, trying to ask him, why is he going through all these nightmares, all these type of cold sweats at night where he can't, relax and, think normally. You know what I'm saying? He has these flashbacks and these things that he doesn't understand. If anyone has seen the movie The Manchurian Candidate, the original with Frank Sinatra, or the remake with Denzel Washington, you would understand totally what that guy was saying in regards to flashbacks and not knowing why he's having them and things of that nature. Now, when it comes down to that specific movie and why I'm making the correlation is because when Mike Tyson was talking about how he was being embedded with hypnotic suggestions deep in his subconscious, even though he claims to be totally conscious, which I believe, because when you under a hypnosis, you're aware of what's going on, but it's your mind, your subconscious mind picks it all up. And if the hypnotist adds certain key phrases, trigger words, things of that nature that you may not know about, because they block you from hearing it or what have you, it could be used against you later on. So I'm not saying anything in regards to that with him per se, but I'm sure there's other people that we probably don't even have no idea that have been programmed in this way. For example, Mark David Chapman, the guy that went out and tried to kill Ronald Reagan. You know, he had the book of The Catcher in the Rye in his pocket when they found him. Signature Manchurian candidate type shit right there. Then you had the guy who tried to assassinate John Lennon. He also had the Catcher, you know, in the Rye book in his pocket when they found him. So all this correlation to that, you know, and I'm bringing it back to Customato with Mike Tyson at 13 years old while he was training him. He also put him under these deep hypnosis sessions and pretty much programmed him to be a killing machine in the ring, you know, and it shows, you know what I'm saying? There's videos going back where he would come into the ring, you know what I'm saying? His theme or his music that he would choose, or maybe it wasn't even him, maybe it was Customato or his training camp that was told that he needed to hear this song playing while he entered the ring. And I wouldn't doubt that the person who put up this video is probably right on the money, spot on, when they're claiming that this specific song that Phil Collins wrote, I Could Feel It in the Air Tonight, which is a very popular, famous 1980s classic song by Phil Collins, you know, is supposed to be some sort of trigger for him to go under and therefore bring about the alter ego in him to become this destroying machine. Once he steps into the ring, he even said it himself in an interview he had in the past, all those nerves, all the nervous energy, all that disappears and he becomes this beast, you know what I mean? The savage. And it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video clips in regards to what he was saying in the podcast with Joe Rogan to start it off. And then I'm going to work my way through to when Customato shows in some sort of, I don't know if it was some sort of boxing type of, you know, where they have a presentation. It's in black and white. It goes back probably to the 1950s or late 40s or something like that. And he's there having some sort of session with or press conference with these people. Could have been the boxing association of that time or council or what have you. He was pretty much showing how hypnosis was being used on certain fighters, one of them being Floyd Patterson. And, you know, he was showing how when people are under that particular type of hypnosis, they will not feel pain and they'll keep going. And all the embedded programming that has been put into that fighter will go and kick in when certain trigger words or phrases or a song, for example, like Mike Tyson, when he would hear the Phil Collins song, he would go under. So that's what I'm trying to say, you know, things of that nature. I'm going to play these videos consecutively back to each other so y'all could have a felt understanding of where I'm coming from with this whole thing and the connections that I'm making. Now, there's a particular thing that I want to connect right now to let you know once I put that and you see it and hear it for yourself. It's this trailer to a movie called The Hunted. It starred Benicio del Toro, Tommy Lee Jones, and I think it came out in like the early 2000s to mid 2000s. And basically what that particular situation transpired was, you know, he was a programmed assassin for the shadow government. And he had the issue that Tyson seems to have had, which was to not be able to shut it off when he wanted to. And that's probably because he was never taught to shut it off. Interestingly enough, that's what Mike said. Anyway, that's pretty much it from me right now. I just wanted to give y'all a little intro of what y'all getting ready to go see and hear. And Y'all make up your mind after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Let it process into your mind, let it swirl, and then produce your opinion. You know, and you can comment below and let me know how you feel, how you think, you know, there may or may not be a connection or what have you. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, this is RTTI in New York City.
Ego dissolving experience. You know, that's one thing.
Yeah, most of the drugs you do are most ego enhancing.
Right, like coke.
Yeah, you're like the baddest mother. You're just gone, man.
Yeah, you know, you've never had coffee. I've never had coke.
Never?
Never.
Oh man.
Feel like
Bad
I missed
exchange, huh? No, you didn't miss out on nothing, man.
Yeah, that one I ducked. When I was in high school, my friend's cousin used to sell it. And he wasted away to nothing. Him and his girlfriend would hang out in the attic, never come out. They would just sell coke and watch TV. It was bad. It was like a vampire bit him. He just became a...
Once you get in that kind of vicious cycle, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah. So I ducked it. I ducked it early. Never did coke.
Man.
When was the first time you did coke?
I don't know. I was a kid, 11, 12.
Shit.
I got involved with drugs early in life.
Wow. That's crazy. 11, 12.
Yeah. I was still living in Brownsville, Brooklyn when I first did cocaine.
Wow. That's a crazy
I was
age.
listen, I would never let my children, I have a 10-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old, I would never let them live the life that I live. I would hate that. I would always fight so hard. I never want them to be in the environment that I grew up in.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know, you have the benefit of having gone through it. You know, no one else could ever understand how difficult any of your life must have been for you. It's got to be one of the harder things. When you did that documentary, it's an amazing documentary. When you're very honest and you're very open about all your experiences. And the one thing I took away after that, like, no one can understand. You could hear a guy talk like this. I could hear you say these things. I could see the videos of your fights, see the videos of your experience. But to understand the life that you lived, it's impossible. It's just a guess. It's like a guess for someone like me from the outside.
It's just really interesting. I used to look at it, think about this young kid from Brooklyn, New York, comes to Custom Auto at 13, 12, you know, and all of a sudden, I have a low self-esteem. This guy gives me this big fucking ego. You know what I mean? I live by the rules of that ego, and I've accomplished so much.
And a dominator ego. Yeah. Right? You're set to
all about
confidence.
Destroying people.
Yeah.
Just anybody, you could be a lawyer, you're 200 pounds, I'm staring you down. It was a weird environment growing up that way. You know, because we as people, we try to avoid fights. You know what I mean?
Right.
From my instincts, we avoid fights for all our lives. And just to be able, this is what you do, like you're a UFC guy, you're a fighter, this is what you do for a job, a lifestyle. That's pretty bizarre.
But you were getting positive reinforcement from thinking like that for the first time in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Never felt like that before. It was like taking a big drug, like a Lucy, just boom, it felt like you're the man. Then everybody's telling you you're great.
Yeah.
You know?
For the first time in your life.
Never understood that. And you know what else Custom Model used to do with me? He used to take me to a hypnotist. He was a hypnotist as well. Yeah, and I used to go into the hypnotist motions.
What kind of shit did they make you do?
You know,
how they do it?
You relax, you go under, you totally focus on blackness, nothingness.
Right.
And you go under and you're just being this savage, intelligent animal. You're just working. You're going to do this. You're going to be a ferocious animal. You're going to fight, punch both hands to the body. You'll use your jab. You're going to do this in ferocious fashion. And they seeked all that in me as I was younger.
And you were like 12, 13 years old?
Yeah.
Wow. So they're putting you under and just teaching you that mindset.
Yeah.
Whoa. Did he give you any advice on how to shut it off?
No.
No. He was probably like, I don't have any time. He was probably like, I don't have any time. The kid's 13. How old was Cuss at the time?
He was like 70, 71.
Shit, there's no time. There's no time. I'm not going to teach him the off switch. Just hit the gas.
That's what it was. The gas. We're gonna
Yeah.
destroy these guys. These guys are in our way of, greatness, glory.
It's one of the hardest things that many fighters that I've watched over the years have the problem of shutting it off, like turning it on and living like that and just wanting to be a dominator, but then learning how to be a father, learning how to be
my
friend.
first lifetime with children and stuff, trying to do this stuff, man, I felt so disastrously. It was just I had no idea what I was doing to it. I had no idea what arena I was stepping into. It was just disastrous. I find out I spend most of my adult life now apologizing to my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Being such a horrible father.
Do you think they understand like, the shit that you were going through? They understand like
I
that
have
you
no
didn't
idea
understand
what
how
they
to live?
understand. No, I don't
No.
understand. I try to basically make sure that part of my life is empty now. I live a different life for my kids,
Right.
my family now.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful.
All right, so as y'all heard, you know what I'm saying, he was not taught how to shut it off. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted you to specifically pinpoint and focus on. The fact that he couldn't shut it off. All right? Now get ready for the next clip. This is the trailer to the movie The Hunted.
I will teach you how to kill. Quickly, accurately, efficiently. The physical part will be easy. The difficult part is learning how to turn it off.
The two men were found half-mile from here. They were killed with a hatchet in a ritualistic fashion.
He didn't use a hatchet, he used a knife.
At this point, we're not sure how many killers there were.
Just one.
Well, you're saying that one guy with a knife killed those two hunters?
Yeah. His name is Aaron Hallam, Sergeant First Class.
What's your relationship to Hallam?
I trained him. Trained him to survive. I trained him to kill. Most of the people he killed never knew he was in the same room with them.
Hallam's battle stress has become so deep it is a part of his personality. And it's impossible to reverse.
I made him what he is, and I can stop him.
4 Bravo 6. I'm at the girlfriend's residence.
You're looking for a man named Aaron Hallam?
Miss Kravitz, is he still here?
What has Aaron done?
You gotta leave here. You're in danger.
Why am I in danger?
They'll come here and burn this house down.
Get on the floor, now!
If you cross this line, you better be ready to kill me.
Release him, Aaron! Release him now!
Command post, this is number 2. We have an agent down. Sector red. Sector red.
You better decide now what's an acceptable body count. That's what you're gonna get if you let these guys declare war on my boy.
Remember me?
Now, if y'all peep that, y'all could definitely see the connection that I made right then and there. You know what I'm saying? When he wasn't taught how to shut it off. Just like Mike, you know what I mean? Customato trained them. He programmed them hypnotically. At 13 years old, he had him doing it. Can you imagine that? It's no wonder now when I look back at his life, you know, just the stuff that went down, the chaos and all that shit that he was going through, that was put on the paper, you know what I'm saying? Put on Front Street with the magnifying glass, you know, that's how they do celebrities. So you already know. All that negative shit that he was doing wasn't even him. Or at least the real him. You feel me? So that's the type of shit that's involved with this whole MK Ultra programming. This mind control shit. It's real. You know what I'm saying? All right, so to follow that up, I'm going to put the one where Customato was talking at that press conference about putting certain boxes under his control and stuff like that in regards to him training them, like Floyd Patterson being one of them. All right, so that's what's coming up next, y'all.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity by calling a special meeting to present evidence on the charges and the protest which I wish to make in regard to a matter which came to my attention and for which I have evidence, and I wish to place now as part of the evidence this letter, which will indicate clearly the proposal made to Sonny Liston to hypnotize him. And I wish to demonstrate to the satisfaction of the commission and everyone present the effects of hypnotism on a subject. In this particular case, I was concerned. I had the letter in my possession for some time, but I did not know a basis under which I could approach the commission, inasmuch as I felt pretty certain in my own mind that this hypnotism does not come necessarily under jurisdiction of the commission and they may not act. However, after long deliberation, I concluded, because I've had more than a passing acquaintance with hypnotism, I came to the conclusion that there was an area which involved the jurisdiction of the commission. Under hypnosis, it is possible to hypnotize a man wherein he becomes immune to pain, so that a fast, hard-hitting, accurate puncher such as Patterson, if he were unfortunate enough to strike his opponent a blow which broke a bone or a jaw or something, repeated blows on the area affected there would be no sign on the part of the opponent that he's being hurt or that the injury exists. And I felt that repeated blows on the injured area might cause serious and permanent damage. And because of the possibility of this, I decided that the commission would have jurisdiction, though it may be very difficult to prove the existence of hypnosis. I feel that if I give a demonstration I have here, at least I was very fortunate in having been able to secure the services of one of the best-known hypnotists in the country, Marshall Brodeen, who has brought with him subjects, who by demonstration will make very clear the points and the charges that I have made. Yes? Note to say I am very happy that you now have a chance to win the heavyweight championship of the world. Sonny, you have plenty of ability, but at times we can all use a little help, especially when there's pressure. I suggest you invite me for your training camp for 2 or 3 weeks before the fight. The atmosphere which I will create will be harmonious. Winning thoughts will dominate the mind. The vibrations and thought waves projected by me all around would make you invincible on a particular night. Don't miss this opportunity. I don't make this offer just for the asking. Send for me, Sonny. I have power you never dreamed of. No fighter ever lost a contest that followed my suggestions. The stakes are too big. Think it over. Sincerely, Jimmy Grippo. Now, for the record, and for those acquainted with Jimmy Grippo is a former professional fight manager, former manager of Mila Bettina, and well known to the boxing fraternity. And he's a sleight of hand and hypnotist of national reputation. However, because of the circumstances involved, because of my association with the champion of the world, I feel it is to the best interest of my fighter, and of course he doesn't know I'm doing all this. I want everybody to know that Floyd Patterson is not aware of the letter or of the circumstances or my appearance here today, because I think he would be the first one to say, let him do it. If he feels he needs it, let him have it. But I'm the manager and I have the responsibility of this. So I say that I have with me here now Marshall Brodeen, one of the top hypnotists in the country, who will give a demonstration.
Sound asleep, and I want you to put one of your feet back. This foot I'm touching back. Stand in that position, straight up, keep you relaxed. When I count to 5, you are going to wake up. When you wake up at the count of 5, you're going to feel relaxed and comfortable. You're going to feel real great, and you're going to have no feeling in your body. If I were to burn you or stick you with pins, you would not feel them. If someone were to hit you, you would not feel it. You have no feeling. When I waken you at the count of 5, you can take anything, punches, anything at all. Wide awake at the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, slowly, but you're waking up 4 or 5. How do you feel? Will you put your foot back like this? Put your foot back like that. You have no feeling. No feeling. No feeling. No feeling whatsoever. No feeling in your face. No feeling.
You have a glove in the commission because there's one available. I'd rather use a glove because...
No feeling.
Never take reputation as a fire commission if I can punch you.
All right, fine. This man is under hypnosis, but he is alert of he is conscious of what is going on right now. Definitely.
I don't need. No. The commission, I think it's a very good idea. Have a member of the press to strike the blow.
And right after this demonstration, I'd like to prove how far you can go with hypnosis. The demonstration was not good to do, but we want to prove that you can do these things. Stuck in that position, stuck in that position. Huh? You have no feeling.
And mind you, the blow is struck in an area, a liver punch, which is can cause the most excruciating pain.
No feeling whatsoever.
Gentlemen, is this. If the first blow had caused a fracture, and the second blow in the same area would only compound this fracture, and additional blows, well, I can leave it to your imagination. Now, Marshal Brodeen has further demonstrations of his own to further carry and emphasize the point, and I think that you may have something more dramatic. I'll change this letter for...
Cuss, just what does this prove, what you've given us as a demonstration?
It proves that under hypnosis, a man may be hypnotized to an extent and to a degree where he is immune to pain, so that if he suffers an injury, no matter how serious, he may carry on whatever he's doing without being aware of the injury.
And you as the hypnotist, Marshal, believe this can be done?
Definitely, as positively can.
Are you
demonstrated to the satisfaction of everyone here.
Are you afraid that your fighter or Sonny will be hypnotized?
Sonny is the man to whom the letter was addressed. I am the one who exposed this letter.
Thank you. That does it.
The Howard Stern Show.
Did you, before a fight, used to get hypnotized? I heard that you would get hypnotized 2 or 3 times a day.
Yes.
What was that? Who was the hypnosis guy who did this?
John Halpin.
John Halpin.
Yes.
He would meet.
He's about 100 years old. He's still alive.
Right. And he would sit with you where? At the arena?
Yes.
And what would he do? What would you actually go under?
Yes.
And so it is possible.
I've been going through that process since I was 14 years old.
Really?
Who started that?
Yeah.
Cuss?
Yeah, Cuss.
He said, "I'm going to have you hypnotized."
Well, Cuss would do it as well. Cuss is pretty much an amateur hypnotist.
Was he?
Yes.
So when he would speak to you, he'd almost put you under his spell, in a sense. In a way, maybe that's why you were so addicted to him too. I mean, the fact that he could relax you.
It's so interesting that you said. Like, I was talking to my wife last night, and something came up. If Cuss would just pop up right now, you could talk to him. I would say, "What did you do to me? How did you make me this guy?"
Maybe it was through hypnotism. I mean, they even talk about like a guy like Hitler was hypnotic in his speech. He could almost mass hypnotize people when he spoke. That's how he got a nation to move in such a weird direction. But when a guy would hypnotize you before a fight, he'd sit you down and he would put you under, and then he would say to you, "What? I want you to picture winning this fight."
Everything is about visualization and how you approach your performances and how you appear yourself and how he wants you to be. And, mostly it's intelligent, ferocious, savage, in that context.
See yourself as a tiger or this kind of thing.
Not necessarily a tiger, but just, I don't know.
Formidable. Just an opponent that can't be beat.
A killing machine.
Yeah.
Was that a secret? Was that a secret of yours in terms of like a secret weapon, the hypnosis?
No, everyone knew that.
Everyone knew it? Do you think other boxers began to get hypnotized before?
Listen, this is really interesting. Some people just not acceptable to it.
Right. Some people cannot.
No, some people cannot. Some people can't let themselves go. Some people may have too many secrets that they don't want to release.
Right. Did you ever
never could relax?
Did you ever worry that because when you do have to give yourself over to a hypnotist, did you ever worry it was a type of mind control that you were being manipulated?
No. You're very conscious, but you're unconscious. You're very conscious of everything, and your subconsciousness accepts the things that are good. That that's profitable to you.
Right. You're not going to be taken over and do something you don't want to do.
I'm sure some people can, though.
Was there ever a fight where you weren't hypnotized?
Yeah, quite a few.
Oh, there were?
Later in my career.
Right.
Late.
All right, so you heard it yourself. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about how he felt that anyone could be put under, but not everyone is susceptible to being, put under hypnosis completely because they won't let go and be free. Like, put your mind blank and relax. Drop all your guard. Because like he said, some people have too many secrets that they don't want revealed, so they tense up, and it's interesting to me that he was able to pinpoint the fact that certain people could go under and it could take them to another level. He said he hasn't witnessed that, but he's sure it could happen. That he's sure it's a possibility of it happening. You know what I mean? That's deep. In any case, I'm going to continue with the rest of the clips. And again, I'd appreciate if you process things correctly. In other words, let it swirl in your mind. Let it process. Then produce an opinion. Feel me? So that's where I'm coming from. And, keep an open mind. And understand that this mind control, MK Ultra programming, along with the hypnotism behind it, with it, which is pretty much brainwashing on another level. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm going to keep continuing to play the rest of the clips, and y'all already know.
What is it like for you to watch boxing these days?
It's just not my life anymore.
You don't watch it at all? Like, did you watch Tyson Fury,
No, I
Deontay
didn't
Wilder?
Watch it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, it was a great fight.
I was in the air flying when they were fighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't watch any of the highlights or anything?
I saw some of the highlights, yes.
How crazy is Deontay Wilder's power?
Good stuff.
Crazy, right? Because he's built so strange. It's
How
209 pounds.
How incredible is Tyson's jaw?
Incredible. And gets up and wins the rest of the round. That's what's really incredible. It's amazing
Good
fight.
stuff.
Yeah. So you don't follow any of it today?
I always, that's part of my life. Right. I got mixed feelings with that part of my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that I don't like about myself and stuff. I try to forget that stuff because I'm on a whole different pattern. Yeah.
So even watching other people box.
I don't even watch nothing. I try to stay away as much as possible.
So watching other people box makes you think about yourself when you were fighting. It reminds you of it.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I always say these guys are so much nicer than I was. You know what I mean? These are cool guys, man.
Yeah, right? Like who out? Yeah, there's no one out there today that's got that mean, vicious persona
these are
anymore.
Nice guys.
Yeah, when you were in the ring doing a post-fight interview saying you wanted to eat your children, you want to eat someone's children. I remember saying this is the craziest fucking post-fight interview. It was about Lennox Lewis, right?
Yeah, it's a madman.
Alexander the Great.
What's wrong with me? I'm just a madman.
It was amazing. It was amazing for the story, for the time. I mean, look, what it was when we saw Rocky 3, right? And Mr. T was challenging, Rocky, and he would say all that crazy shit about what he was going to do. My prediction, pain.
That was beautiful.
It was
right?
beautiful. What you did is you took that and just cranked it up to 11 and threw gasoline on it and lit it on fire. You just took that kind of ferocious shit talking.
Yeah, I look at some of those press conferences a long time ago, what I'm saying to these guys, I would never talk to anybody like that. It's just such a different world now. My world is so different now.
Do you feel when you watch that stuff that you feel almost like trapped by that past, like that you have to acknowledge it and you don't even acknowledge it anymore?
Yeah, I'm almost a little bit like I don't want to be involved. I wish that never happened.
Yeah. But kind of had to happen for you to be who you are now.
Yeah, but because people, this is the real reason, right, Joe? People love that guy.
Yeah.
People love that. I didn't like that guy that much. So I have conflicting with people that like that guy and me living my life that I am living now.
Yeah. Well, people loved that guy because that guy gave them a drug, and that drug was excitement. Like you'd turn on the TV, like, oh shit, here we go, Michael Spinks, Mike Tyson, here we go, and boom, oh! That's what people wanted. They wanted that excitement. They knew some crazy shit was about to go down. Unpredictable. No one knows what's going to happen in a fight. Is it going to be a right or a left? Is he going to move right? Is he going to move left? How's it going to work out? You don't know. How long can Spinks last? You don't know. And everybody was excited. And that's what you brought people. You brought people this chaotic moment. You slapped down the money in the pay-per-view, you got out your popcorn, and you waited for the rush of excitement.
Those are crazy days.
Crazy days.
Crazy.
I mean, I hate to keep bringing your head back to that, but just for me, as a kid growing up during that time, it was a big part of my becoming an adult. It was during your era of dominance.
I always look at my kids and I think, wow, these guys are pretty much middle class kids. They live their life, they do what they want, they go to college and everything. I would never want to put that pressure on my son that you have to be the total best. You have to dominate everybody. You're going to be the best that ever lived at this. You put that kind of pressure on them. That's incredible. I would never do that to them.
Yeah, it would never work, probably. I mean, I don't think a kid that grows up in a loving household with supportive parents.
You got boxing for when you have nothing.
Yeah.
When you do boxing when you just had nothing, because that's a lot of dedication. That's a lot of pain. That's a lot of aggravation. A lot of it really is discovering who you are.
Let me say, just as a fighter, his career, he broke my heart beating Ali. Talk about Holmes as a fighter. What made him great?
Splendid fighter. Great left jab. But what made him more special than anything was the intestinal fortitude. He was tough as nails. Knock down, get back up, and fight you to death. You know what I mean? And he got that from Ali. He was Ali's sparring partner. See, Ali, that's the only thing about Ali. When you were watching Ali get beaten up as an old man, even if that was a young kid, he's not going to quit. You got to kill him. He won't quit. Even he was getting beat up every round, getting the shit kicked out of him by Larry Holmes. And it's a champ. No, come on, let me out. Come on out. They wouldn't stop. He would have to stay up there and just take the beating like a man. He wouldn't quit. In a way, I respect a guy like that so much. I have so much admiration for a guy like that so much, but it's just not right to be that way as a human being. Just say it's over. I'll come back and fight another day else. You got me. And listen, I always like to think I'm a bad motherfucker, vicious motherfucker. I don't give a fuck, but that's a part of Ali. That's where he overshines me, because I can't understand a man that's willing to just really die for this. And I talk that shit, but he's the real dick.
Why does it make you emotional? Is it talking about him or the relation to you?
Me, fuck me. Ali's a giant. There's no way other fighters can match him. He'll die for this shit. He'll die. I'm not gonna die for this.
Mike, you're such a good dude.
That's real talk. Ali's a savage. He's an animal. He's a different breed of person. He's not like us.
You're a good guy, Mike. You're a good fucking dude.
No, fuck that. It's just real talk.
I know, but you're a good dude, man. You're such a good dude. I see that in you.
You do?
Fuck yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Now, I'm pretty sure people who are or were into boxing, going back in the days when Tyson was coming up, you look at him now as an older, mature man who's retired from the business sport, and you hear him talking with sincerity. That's one thing about Mike that I can relate to, that I can also understand and appreciate from him, is the fact that he's willing to be so honest at almost every given moment. That's one of the things Bruce Lee had said, to be honest with oneself, to express yourself with total honesty is very difficult. But once you do it, my friend, you have become, the essence of expressing yourself totally with honesty. And that's what Mike seems to be in the realm of now as an older man. God bless him for that. It was difficult for me to see him get emotional like that. And I just wanted to add that type of reaction that he gave was genuine. You know what I'm saying? And I can relate to that because that's happened to me as well. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it comes from a place, a sincere place, where you know that you are a good person deep down. But then all the stuff that's happened to you, the programming, the stuff that has been put into your head, your ego has been inflated, and you got to keep going because this older man is trying to guide you and direct you to a direction to become the world heavyweight champion, right? And he has a limited time to live on this planet at the time, and all this other stuff going on, all these pressures and all that, people robbing and stealing from him, all that shit. And, he comes down to the nitty gritty, to where he is now in his life. And he's looking back at all that shit. And he realizes, man, that wasn't him. It was the programming. You know what I'm saying? And I could relate to it in the essence of what's happened to me and the programming that's happened to me since I was an adolescent. You know what I mean? And being programmed with violence and being angry and being frustrated and fighting back at the bullies and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Mike also went through similar things like that. From what I understand, there's a story that he said when I went to go see him live here in New York City, down on 40 Deuce, around there, the theater district. And he had his documentary just came out. Somebody back then had invited me to go. And I was like, yeah, no doubt, I'm there. Saying, and in that documentary, he's pretty much talking about his life, and I think Spike Lee directed it. So it was a powerful, expressive, informative, wisdom collecting type of situation. Also very, reminiscent of back in the days. Things have happened and things have molded him and his character and his whole life as it's gotten to the point where he is now. And I'm like, wow, interesting thing that happened when I was online waiting to get in there. It was a long line. It went literally around almost half the block. And I remember him rolling up in some type of Jeep or some type of truck with tinted windows. And there was a guy driving, and he was on the passenger side, and he rolled up right next to where I was, interestingly enough. And he looked at me and he said, thank you. But I'm talking about with a sincere look that I was like, yeah, no doubt. Back then I was still asleep to this program. But for all I know, maybe he knew something or he heard of something, and he just appreciated the fact that I took the time to be out there in that heat, because it was in the summer, waiting to get in there to hear his documentary live. You feel me? And that was a powerful moment for me, because I felt like I grew up with Mike, watching him, at the same time. We're more or less in the same age bracket. Know what I mean? So it's like you're going through that. You're going through the motions and you're feeling everything at the moment. It was sunny. It was a summer day. It was hot. And then he pulls up like that. But it wasn't him. It was the driver. So I don't know if he told the driver, yo, pull up right here. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 whatever. And I'm telling y'all, he was like maybe 5 to 6 feet away from me. And I kicked myself in the ass, you know what I'm saying? Because I could have just been like, yo, Mike, can I take a picture with you or a video with you real quick? I'm pretty sure he would have said, yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? And caught up in the moment, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think about it, And I appreciated what he did, because I'm telling y'all, man, he looked at me dead in my eye and he said, thank you. And he said it with such sincerity that I will never forget that. I almost get a little choked up remembering that moment. You know what I'm saying? But this is RT, T.I. in New York City. Wanted to share that with y'all. I hope y'all took a lot away from that, because I know I did. When I first found out about it, I was like, whoa, this is on some next shit. You know what I mean? Like, I never would have guessed something like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do realize that there's a lot of things coming out in the open. You know what I'm saying? In these last days, so to speak. And we just got to be on point and pay attention to these things. Grab what you can from it. Educate yourself. Share with others. Educate them. Let them know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's about it for me. This is RT, T.I. in New York City. I'll be coming at you at some point soon in the future. Be safe, y'all. Stay strong out there, my fellow EI/TIs.